Welcome to this hints and tips video for Total War Attila. The situation I'm going to discuss in this video is a problem that occurs when the game rolls over from winter 449 AD to 450 AD. Now, this is a key point in the game because it actually represents obtaining both the military and the cultural victory. Now, if you've obtained just one of these, this is not a problem. The game will roll over. You will get the cinematic of the victory, and you will get either the cultural or military victory that you are well and truly entitled to if you've managed to get to this point in the game. Now, what I'm going to deal with here is a slight different situation. If you look at this situation here. This is a Pix campaign that I fought, and as you can see, I've actually obtained all the requirements for the military victory except Spring 450, and all the requirements for the cultural victory except Spring 450. Now, what will happen is if I was to click an end turn and roll over, the game will hang. It will just literally do the end turn. When it gets to the end turn, it will just sit there and hang, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's there, and this is due to the fact that I've managed to obtain both victories. It seems that the game cannot deal with a situation of giving both a cultural and military victory at AD 450, and if you were really well ahead, if you had the Divine Triumph as well, which I would really commend you, because that's quite a challenge. But so the long and the short of it is that the game cannot handle giving multiple victories at any one time. Now, this is a game killer because I've tried various ways to get past it, like going back to the autosave. I went out on the forums and there was lots of discussions, and there are ways around it. One suggestion is to reduce the number of armies. If you look here, I think it's where is it? One settlement. Maintain 180 units. So you could. One suggestion is you chop all the armies and units back to 180 units. Now, I've invested a lot of time and effort developing these armies, getting the chevronage and getting the armies I want to fight the battles, which would be a great disappointment because I would have to destroy 6 armies here. Also, what I've actually done is, as an experiment, I reloaded the autosave for this turn, destroyed all the armies, and it still wouldn't actually let me roll over. It's almost like the autosave knows that the victory condition has been achieved. So the recommendation of this tip is you need to plan for this situation rather than hack away at it and come up with situations here. I even tried down here where my military port is, I even tried deleting the military port and it just didn't work. It because the building was still being demolished. I say so there doesn't seem to be any way past it. If anyone actually does know a way past it, feel free to put it in the hints and the comments associated with this video, because I'd be very interested. I've tried all different variants and I've done it, and it doesn't say much that if you were playing on legendary, your campaign is ended in this situation. So returning to the recommendation is plan for it. Now, what I'm going to do now is load a rerun of this game where I restarted from beginning. Not the beginning of the campaign, just from an earlier save game. Here we are. This is the same campaign. The difference is I'd gone back to a previous save game, come forward, and the only really major difference, except for the position of a few armies, is that in Carthago now I have not built the military port, or military port. This means I can now just ignore that. roll the game over, and hopefully it will complete and show the cinematic. So the solution is to plan the victory and manage it using buildings from the building chain, because this is an element you have total control over. So I'll just let this demonstrate. I won't show the whole cinematic. I'll just let it start. There we are. You can see the cinematic started as normal, showing the battle, and yeah, I'll just escape out of it. It's not purpose of that. You can see I actually managed to get the cultural victory on this campaign. So that goes to show that it works with one victory but not the two. So that's the situation. Now what I'm going to suggest is that as you come forward, the elements to look for are in the building chain. Now if you look here, for the military victory it's a large city, warlords keep, Smith's Guild, military port, and in here it's large city, hall of elders, mead hall. Now if you look at this cultural victory, these are key buildings which you would need to develop the economy. So my suggestion would be to choose either the military port or the Smith's Guild if you're playing a Pix. So what I'm going to do now is just go back to the main menu, and just point out a few more examples just to round this video off. So we're just going to do that. Here we are on the main campaign menu. We're just going to have a look at a few factions just as an example for this problem. So we'll start with the Saxons. You can see here Smith's Guild military port jump out straight away. They are high level buildings. You can live without them. Let's quick look now. Cultural victory, large city, hall of elders, irrigated fields. They've all got purposes within the economy. Maybe not build a large city, that could be a thing, but I think the problem you'll find with building a large city is that it's a requirement for both, so we must really need to exclude that. So what else should we look at? Norsemen. Let's look at the Eastern Empires, quick look at the Sassanids. In this one, royal cities, royal stables, military port again crops up. Yeah, maybe an oriental market or royal harem. I'm not sure what benefit they have, but so one more just let's go for the Romans. See what the Western Romans have. So the Western Romans, there's a good one there, Latin Patriarchal Cathedral. It's probably way down the building chain and would be a building that you would build quite late in the campaign anyway, so, and it's there. Yeah, I mean the rest of them maybe veteran garrison quarters. So that shows that you can plan to manage this situation, and I think that's where I'm going to pull this tip together. So that so the final recommendation is, if you're having a really great campaign, and I hope you have really great Total War campaigns, and you get one victory, start to manage the second victory, bear it in mind so that you get it. So if you want to go on to a Divine Triumph, you can, and there's no problem. And if you want to, and you get the pleasure of the game. So that's where I'm going to leave it. Manage your buildings. That's the absolute final recommendation. And if you've got any other comments on this video or any other suggestions on how to manage this problem, feel free to add to the comments in this video, and like and subscribe, pass the message around, because things like this help all of us play better like that, and more importantly, it all helps us enjoy our gaming.